Before I begin, if you wouldn't mind doing me the honor of smashing the living crap out of that subscribe button and the notification bell so that more of me show up in your feed, I would really appreciate it. And I would doubly, nay, triply appreciate a look over at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where the upper class goes to really taste the finer things in life that I have to offer, such as exclusive movie reviews every month, vlogs depending on your level of support, and you can even get a shout out like several do at the end of all my future videos. Those are the kings, the real creme de la creme. Hello. It's Tuesday night and I'm feeling all right. Hope you're having a good one. This is a more chill live stream than usual. I typically would have a couple things prepared, either going over movie news, talking to a guest, or just, I don't know, preparing for the show. But today is different. Today, I'm just going to straight up talk to you guys. We are closer than crap to the 100,000 subs mark. I'm pleased as punch about the explosive amount of subs that came in recently. So I just want to talk with you guys. Share a little bit about the experience this last decade on YouTube. Ask what you would like to see more of. So yeah, I'm just gonna open it up. Super chats will always get priority, of course, but and I would appreciate it immensely. Okay, so right out of the gates, we have probably the hardest hitting question out of all of them. What's up, Adam? Hello, Anastasia. Not much, just doing this. Michael says, Adam, you there? Michael, I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready. I just realized, and this is a me problem, I don't like how I cover up the logo when the chat comes up. I don't like that. I'll have to adjust that somehow down the road. We do have a couple supers. So shot out of a cannon, Michael for $4.99. Thank you. Any superior movies to Amelia Perez? Mine would be Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Also, I would like to mention I did Companion on V-Day. Oh, nice. Companion, the film that I think 5 people saw and is already coming to streaming services very shortly. I enjoyed Companion. It was a nice little flick. Yeah, Amelia Perez, just a real treat of a flick that was. Oh God, I should have my readers on. Targaryen Boss for $10. Thank you, Targaryen Boss. Got to admit, Adam, been so happy to see your growth lately. I am pretty disappointed you refused to review Mufasa, though, when it is one of the few Disney movies that is an original story. Yeah, I guess it's an original story. I guess. But even though The Lion King was actually a knockoff of a Japanese lion film called, I can't remember what it was called, Kumba or Kimba or something. It's not wholly original, but yes, the prequel, I suppose, was. And then he clarifies for $2, talking about Disney remakes, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yes, he got there. Yes, it is an original Disney in that sense. Buffalo Jensen, favorite movies. Favorite movies/movies. I'm not sure if you meant TV shows or whatever, but yeah, obviously my top dogs that I always go to is Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Fight Club, Jaws, Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's just too hard for me to determine which one I want. Shawshank Redemption. On the comedy side, I love The Naked Gun, Happy Gilmore, Hot Shots, Dumb and Dumber, The Cable Guy. Really, Jim Carrey's catalog. He gets me. Jim Carrey gets me in the comedy. But I also like some of the drier stuff, such as kind of Naked Gun is dry with the deadpan, but then obviously it has the ridiculous slapstick. Caddyshack is hilarious if we're in the comedies. Really, you'd almost have to go genre for me because there's just too many movies I love to really isolate it down. But I gave you like 7 or 8 right out of the gates, and then Die Hard in the action genre, one of my favorites. Die Hard with a Vengeance is up there as well. I freaking love Die Hard 3. It's really good. But I could spend hours talking about the movies I love, and maybe one day I will. Maybe after the 100K, if it comes sooner than later, which would be nice, I could prepare like my top 100 favorite movies of all time for a live stream, or I could do top, I could go genre really and give recommendations. I think that would be a fun time. Um, Tina asked, "Will you review smaller indie movies?" Um, on the live streams, I will once in a while, but for the most part, I'm focusing on growth on the channel, and unfortunately, that just doesn't leave room for going after the like small little independent films. I am emailed probably, I'd say, a 6 or 7 times a day. Oh, thank you, Connor. Connor, my son just handed me my glasses so I can read what's on. It's, you gotta love getting older. It's such a magical time. Uh, Short answer is no. No, I don't plan on reviewing smaller indie movies. Really have to find that niche on YouTube, and I guess the one I fall into is the big blockbusters for the most part. Although I have been, from time to time having directors on and people who have created indie films. So there's definitely. I just had a guy on like a few days ago, Andrew. He made an indie film for $750,000. Granted, his father owns the production studio, but still, still it still took work to get that made. Megan Barkpoo. Is that really the Megan Barkpoo? Oh, hang on. Megan Barkpoo. $5. Thank you. I just wanted to show some support because, like many others, I am so happy to see some recent vids blowing up. What movie surprised you most this year? Biggest surprise of the year. I would have to look back. Are we talking about 2025? Are you talking about 2024? I think the biggest surprise of 2024 was that Emilia Perez was so absolutely atrociously bad, and it was up for 13 Academy Awards. That surprised me. On the positive end, I'm Still Here, the Brazilian film that's also up for a few awards. I did not expect it to be as good or as hard hitting as it was, especially as a foreign film. Sometimes is a barrier. Sometimes you can't relate. But this movie was, it was just a beautiful film and a sad film. So I'm Still Here, I think, is the biggest surprise for me. Also, because a lot of movies that are up for Academy Awards, Oscars, whatnot, are, I know it's the same thing, are on the artsier side. But that one was just a really damn good movie. I should tell you, I am in the process. I have, I think, 30 minutes left of Anora. I've been watching Anora with my wife. I'm trying to go through a good chunk of the movies that are up for awards so that when that time runs around, and I am going to be covering it live, I believe, with Tony, I will know what I'm talking about. And I will have a review for Anora probably out tomorrow night or Friday, or I'm sorry, it's tomorrow Wednesday. I'll have it out either tomorrow or when. I can't talk. I'll have it out tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll have it out either tomorrow or Thursday. I should also tell you that tomorrow I'm going to be having a review on Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. It's a free exclusive going over there. I'm going to be talking about Tropic Thunder. I already filmed the review. I'm in the process of editing it. It will be live tomorrow. So if you haven't become a member at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, please think about doing so. Entirely free to just sign up, and you can get free monthly videos there. Now, the reason I'm doing that is to encourage you, of course, to look at some of the offerings, such as getting exclusive access to 300 videos and counting. There are several movie reviews hidden behind a couple of the tiers, and then there's a vlog every month. So there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to offer over there to help keep this channel going strong, because it is a one-man operation. I put out videos almost daily at this point, on top of the family and the full-time 40-hour work week. Okay, so yes, I hope I answered your question during that random freaking rant that I went on, that tangent. Cinefanatic for $4.99. Adam, one of your top 5 favorite movie fans here. Also, a favorite of mine to go to the movies with in South Carolina. Wondering when you might do Oscar picks. By the way, Flow was spectacular. Flow is the animated one, and I think I saw that that's available to stream on one of the 85 streaming services. I saw it show up front and center. That's good to know, Andy. I will definitely give it a watch when I can. I probably won't God, I don't know if I'll review it or not. My animated videos don't do well. Obviously, my demographic is in the, I would say, 20s to 50s range. That's where the meat of the audience is. So they don't apparently give a shit about the kids stuff or the family animated stuff. They sure don't have a problem watching the videos where I'm crapping on the Disney stuff, but when it comes to good animated flicks, those videos do terribly. Although The Boy and the Heron, that one performed well. Again, because I didn't like it, I suppose. YouTube always rewards the negativity. It's tough. Am I going to do my top 5 movie? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I going to do Oscar picks? I did Oscar picks. Well, I did Oscar guesses with Tony. We had a live stream and we went through and we listed off what we're going to do. So that's already been done. That was in a past live stream, you can see. And then we are going to cover the event live. And that should be a fun time. See who got more right. Thank you for the super chats. Please keep them coming. I'm going to try to go back a little bit. But again, if you want your question read, super chat's the way to do it. Oh, I have to read this one from Rob. Adam, why are you so handsome? Listen, if I knew the answers to the greatest mysteries in life, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd be making, billion-dollar movies, Rob. So, why do beavers make dams? Why do bees make honey? These are some of the great mysteries we just don't know how to answer. Midadar says, Strange Darling got no respect. I agree, but horror typically gets overlooked. It's actually amazing that the substance is up for anything. But I think Demi Moore star power has helped that one. Eddie or Ray. It could be either Eddie or Ray. We just don't know who we're getting. What is your favorite animated movie? There's got to be like a super easy answer. When it comes to the Disney stuff, I usually say Beauty and the Beast. It's a tale as old as time. For me, it's a song as old as rhyme. I'm a fan of Disney and the Beast. I love Belle. I love the Beast and his antics. The mother teacup hopping around, bubbling and brewing, Chip, Gaston. It's a good cast of characters, great music, wonderfully animated. You have some early Pixar stuff with that intro, the quasi 3D, 2D look. It's pretty sweet. I do like Lion King. I grew up, the meat of the movies for me when I was a wee little one, 10 or 11 or 12, something around there, was going to the theaters and watching The Lion King and Aladdin on the big screen. It's just hard to get past it. I will tell you something that hits hard, though. I like holding these glasses. I feel smart holding the glasses. Let me tell you something, though, I really appreciate. The Land Before Time. Land Before Time is a gem, and I think it's one that's kind of gone the way of the dinosaur over the years. The dodo bird, maybe because they shat out like 45 sequels direct to DVD, but that original Lion King, powerful film. And I think Spielberg produced it. I might have made that up, but I think Spielberg has something on that movie. As far as like the more anime style, the Studio Ghibli, not sure where we land on that pronunciation. I like Spirited Away. That's my go-to. I really like that one. If we're talking now I'm thinking of like the Pixar movies and the 3D, but I'm guessing you mean traditional 2D hand-drawn animation. But like Into the Spider-Verse is really good. I love a lot of those early Pixar. Well, I love a lot of Pixar films in general. Why is this popping up? Did I see that? I already saw that. Okay. Super chats. We have, oh my God, we have a insane from the top rope $20 from Albus Severus Potter. Beautiful. And he's got the Harry Potter icon. How are you feeling about the new Harry Potter show? I personally am a little more hesitant after some casting choices, but I hope it does good. Definitely think book 1 and 2 will be the toughest since they're so child friendly. I have no faith in the show. I will obviously give it a shot. I think it's hard to capture the magic. And those Harry Potter films, love them or hate them or be indifferent, they have a massive fan base. They built a insane section of theme park at 2 different Universals, and they have a third one on the way at Epic Universe with the Ministry of Magic. These are iconic landmarks. These are iconic characters brought to the big screen. And even though the books are fantastic, and most people that have seen the movies have read them, it's the movies that really brought it to life. You know, it's one thing to read about a castle, a magical place where you learn the ins and outs of the different charms and the potion brewing and whatnot. It's another to see that and to be able to actually walk there and experience it, or to just live in the life of these kids going to the school. And Christopher Columbus, with those first 2 movies, freaking nailed the casting. He nailed the settings. He nailed the costume design. And I mean, it's so hard to replicate that again or completely change it and think that you're going to get the same amount of magic. No pun intended. But yeah, I'm very, I guess, I'm not even cautiously optimistic. Listen, if we're going to base it off of the past times we've tried to do this, the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings prequel series is terrible. It's truly bad. Boring ass shit, uninspired, lame, everything all around. I'm trying to think of another TV series that took something as amazing as the property. Like Star Wars, there was that kids thing that just came out that no one watched. I heard it was kind of good, that Goonies TV Star Wars thing. I was at MegaCon and those kid actors were there, and I genuinely felt sad for them. There were big lines of fans at all these booths, even for DJ Qualls. DJ Qualls had a big line of fans, and then these poor kids in a Star Wars property had no one. The MegaCon security's walking around like kicking rocks, just sad. I felt bad for them. I truly did. So, I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's going to be really hard. And even in that teaser that we got from Harry Potter, they had the iconic theme song playing from John Williams because they know that there's no getting away from what the movies did. Even if they pretend they're going to build something new, they're not really going to. Beautiful super chat. Okay, BAP 499, 2-part question. Who was your childhood celebrity crush? And when do you plan to rewatch Matrix 4? If hell exists, which I don't believe it does, but if hell exists, it's going to be me sitting in a folding chair, uncomfortable, of course, watching The Matrix 4 on repeat forever. That would be my living nightmare. That would be eternity of pain for me and punishment. I don't plan on rewatching The Matrix 4. My kids have not watched Matrix 4, and they've seen the first 3. And I didn't need to tell them it sucked. I've told the story here several times now, but I walked home after watching The Matrix 4 with my original crew of friends. I grew up in high school watching... No, I'm sorry. Would it have been high school? Yeah, it was high school, because the first one came out in 99. I'm young. I watched the first film in theaters in 1999, and I saw it, I think, 2 or 3 times in the theaters. It basically became my life for that year, running up walls, pretending to be, like, Trinity, help, doing the stupid sound effects. I saw all 3 of those movies in theaters, waited in line for like 7 or 8 hours for the second one, for the opening night, did the same thing for the third one with my core group of buddies. And so all these years later, to go back to The Matrix with these guys again, now we have kids, now we have jobs and 401ks and responsibilities, and to be so miserable sitting there. I walked home that night. My kids were sound asleep, tucked in their beds. But that next morning, they come downstairs, Papa, Papa, how is the Matrix 4? And they could just see it on my face. Just the sheer draining of the blood and the disappointment and the depression. And they knew no more had to be said. And I mean, later on in the day when I collected myself, I did say to them, "Hey, it's free to stream on HBO Max." It was HBO Max at the time, formerly known. You can watch it if you want. And neither of them have to this day because they respect their father so damn much. Yeah. Oh, celebrity crush. Alicia Silverstone, who bailed on MegaCon like 3 days before it happened because literally anything else came up in her schedule, I suppose. She was a childhood crush for me for sure. Scarlett Johansson, I suppose, would be my middle-aged crush. And I don't think I have a new one. I mean, everybody's on the Sydney Sweeney train, but yeah, I'm kind of over it all at this point. You know, most women are they're just beautiful butterflies in their own way. But I've been happily married now for like 1,000 years, so it doesn't matter to me anymore. It doesn't matter. My focus is on this damn channel. Be my dad, Adam? Where did this come from? Oh, is that a super chat? It just comes just out of nowhere. It appeared. Ladies Man 551 for $4.99. Be my dad, Adam. It's kind of like being my Valentine, I suppose. Ladies Man, I don't know. I mean, in your name, you are referring to yourself as a man, so it would be bizarre to have this new relationship calling you son when we're maybe around the same age. I think it would be a little awkward. Oh, there's just too many here. I'm gonna just kind of keep going. I'm way behind. What would you rate Sonic 3 out of 10, Adam? See, I don't. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. I don't do a rating system because it bites me in the ass. But Sonic 3 out of 10, I would say a 7.5, 8. I mean, 8 seems a bit much. I'd say like a 7.5. Is that like a B minus? That's about where I would put it. I'd say a good B minus. Lord Wappy, do you script your rants? They always sound natural and random. Are you talking about this channel or the secondary channel that I haven't supported in like 6 months? No, I don't script anything anymore. I used to script out movie feuds. Those were heavily scripted to a fault, I would say. I scripted out Movie Boss. There was ad-libbing, of course. I did tiny amounts of scripting for the cringe. But no, for the rants, they are pretty much 100% me just going off the cuff after seeing the movie, letting things simmer for a little bit, percolate. And then, yeah, I let it rip. And that's why it's all over the place. And you'd be amazed at how much I have to edit the order of things even after doing the rant. I will have things so completely out of sync from how the story progressed that I'll be bitching about something from Act 1 like 20 minutes into my rant. So then afterwards I will take it and I will cut it and move that piece of video up in the rant phase so that it chronologically lines up a little better. And occasionally I will even edit things and push them back further if I find there isn't enough jokes flowing well in the video, or if I'm kind of starting to lose people, or if I want to have a joke hit. So a thing that I used to do a lot, and I've been really bad about it lately, is having South Park was brilliant about this. I would say the first like 15 seasons, and I think they've lost their way on this as well. But having a reoccurring gag or a joke or a catchphrase or something that they can repeat 2 or 3 times throughout the episode. I'm a big fan of those. Just, like peppering in some silly little nonsense. Like I used to yell at my fake interns all the time, and that would be a reoccurring gag. But doing that on a episodic basis, I just need to get back to doing things like that. Anastasia Williams, any good TV shows you're watching? Mm, no. We're going to be starting Severance. I've heard nothing but good things about Severance. We're watching Silo on Apple Plus. It had potential, but after about 4 episodes, we were completely checked out. It just got so stupid. And people are praising this one. I like Rebecca Ferguson. I like Tim Robbins. There's a good cast there. Wait, Tim Robbins, is that right? Is that Andy Dufresne? Tim Robbins. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking Tim Meadows. I just watched that Saturday Night Live 50th, so I'm kind of all scrambled with names. I'm hoping Severance is good, but Silo let us down. We didn't even bother after we sadly finished season 1 of Silo, hoping it would get better. But after 1 or 2 episodes in season 2, we said, "Fuck this, we're out," and we bounced. I should keep my readers close by. Ladies Man 551 for 9.99. Thank you again, sir. Well, going to bed. Thanks for always entertaining me and being the best dad. I appreciate that. I don't identify as just a dad, especially to random people on the internet, unless this is somehow my son and he got access to some sort of payment plan on Google, on YouTube, which I'm gonna have to check into. But I don't know if he would know to use the profile pic of the landlord from Spider-Man 3. I'm guessing this is just a person I don't know, but thank you for the super chats and have a good night. Movies are rad. Hey, Adam, have you seen Snack Shack 2024? If so, what were your thoughts? I did get a screener for that. As I said earlier, I get a bunch of screeners sent my way on a daily, and I kind of throw them all in the trash unless they're really customized and rub my tummy the right way and blow me kisses. And I'm like, hey, we're a huge fan of your channel. Really, like if they get really specific about things, then I'll give them the time of day. Otherwise, they're boilerplate and they're almost always movies I've never heard of and I know won't do shit for my channel and the growth. So I don't have time. I only have set hours that I can focus on things. I did not see Snake Shack. I did not see Snack Shack. Although I will say that I did watch that trailer because they were heavily promoting it at me. It's a comedy set around a summer snack shack by the pool, I believe. And that's about all I got from it. It looked all right. It looked kind of funny. I can't tell you anything else though. Goodfellas is the best movie ever made. Fight me. It is a good movie. I think I like Casino better. What's your wife like? She's very pretty and small. She's about up to here on me. Little thing. She is funny. Not as funny as I am. We will have a debate about it constantly, though. She is a very good mom. She's a teacher, or was. She's no longer now. Our kids are both homeschooled, so I mean, she's still a teacher, but in the house, and that's just because the schooling in South Carolina sucks ass. But now at this point, we actually really like the homeschool thing. It's given us a lot more freedoms to travel and really let loose in life. Having a schedule that's a little bit more loose is pretty cool, especially when we've always been very scheduled individuals. It's been an adjustment, but a fun one. Um, well, she's my best friend. I've known her since high school. She ruined the film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for me, which is really sad. I remember watching it. It was a two-part situation. We were going to watch one part one day, another part another day, and I remember she's like, "Oh, this is the one. It's really sad." And then she ruined it, and I was like, "If this was anyone else, I probably would never talk to you again." But that's how I knew she was the one. She was able to ruin a film for me, and I let it go. I let it slide. No, we're very different people, but that keeps us balanced And I think that you don't want to be too similar to your significant other, or it can be chaos. I think you have to share the same values, though, same outlook on life, have similar, I guess, eating habits and lifestyle habits, so that you're not driving each other up a wall. And yeah, no, it's been great. It's been great. I have zero complaints. I'm sure she has complaints, but I have zero complaints. Matthew tips the hat to Littlefoot, one of the many stars of The Land Before Time. Don't lose your way for each passing day. I'm going to stop there, but great song. I used to sing it to my real. Let's get real for a second. I used to hold my little baby children at night, and I'd walk around the room because my daughter was very colicky. Olivia was a shit show. Subscribe to her channel, Being Real with Olivia. She's 16 now. She's doing the YouTube thing. She's having a good time. Being Real with Olivia. I should really put her link at the bottom of my channel page. I'm very proud of her for getting out there and doing the review thing as well. She wanted to. But no, I used to walk around the room at night and sing the Land Before Time theme song. Words were incorrect. I didn't know them, but you make it up on the fly. They're babies. They don't know, but it was soothing. And it put them to sleep. And I was like half asleep singing it. I was probably just mere seconds away from falling and killing them while singing the song. We have a couple more supers to get to. Oh, just one. You direct an Oscar film. What's the topic genre? Oh, man. So, Andy, are you looking for me to make Oscar bait in 2025? Or I guess it would be for 2026. You got to read the room. You got to read what's trending in Hollywood. The trans stuff was big this year. Gay stuff always works well. Brokeback Mountain was one of the first, I think, big. Well, it's not one of the first. It might have been the biggest one. So I would probably do a coming of age. Biopic is too safe, although biopics do well. I do a coming of age story, biopic-esque, but not based on a true story. Gay lead, black friend, black lead, white friend. Very sad, 2.5 hours long, bare min, short for minimum. I'm trying to think what the movie could be about. But it really could be abstract after that. Everything else is just kind of bullshit because I got the key players in mind. I got everything set up how it should be. And I know I'm discrediting. I'm joking, of course. Outside of a couple picks this year, a lot of these movies have been really good that I've watched so far. Bia asks, what made you make this channel? The government. The government made me do it. The mafia. What made me? Nothing. I made me make this channel. I chose to. I started it with a buddy named Corey. We were work friends, colleagues. We met at work back in, oh my God, 1,000 years ago, 2011, maybe 2011-ish. We would go out for lunch with a couple other guys and we would just talk movies, but mainly him and I. We'd have a burger and fries and we would talk about a film, and he had shit taste in movies. And he would say the same thing about me. And so we would debate about them, and it would turn into like this fun back and forth jabbing and ribbing of each other. And so eventually I said, hey, we should just do this as a YouTube channel. We'd be like Siskel and Ebert for a new generation that wouldn't watch us, but we would be there. And so we did. We tried a few different approaches. He played the straight man. I played the kind of dumbass, which was very natural for me to do. And it went through different iterations, but it turned out I actually was a lot more passionate about movies than he was. And I wanted to go to the movies, cover them, review them. And he would just always kind of not. And so we just had a conversation at one point after I think our second or third year where it was just a mutual kind of, hey, we both have kids now. We both have, jobs that we're dedicated to. We have a lot of responsibilities and this little YouTube channel that's not making us any money. And we have maybe at that time, I think we maybe had 1,000 subscribers if we were lucky. It's not working. So he left. I took like I want to say like a 6-month hiatus or something. Came back. It was bad. It was awkward. And then it was just like a bunch of different ideas over the course of time to eventually getting to something that I felt good about. Now, it's not to say I didn't love everything I was putting out. It just was clearly not working for a lot of people watching, and it was not adaptable, I guess, for YouTube to find an audience. Although my Movie Feuds show was very successful back in the day. R.I.P. Movie Feuds. But I made the channel because I love talking movies, and I saw the stuff that was out there from other critics. I found them kind of bland, the really big ones at the time. I found to be either bland or really over the top performative. I didn't buy what they were selling, even though they had a ton of subs and people clearly loved their stuff. To me, it didn't feel like a dude that went to the movies and he was talking to you like a normal person. It felt like a guy that went to the movies and then bragged that he saw the movie early, had kind of almost an uppity style to his approach, or it was just coming off as pandering or over the top for the sake of it. Yeah, anyway, there was just a lot of different reasons why I was annoyed by what was out there, and I felt like I had a unique voice to bring to the table. And I've always wanted to entertain people through comedy, and so I hope that I could somehow blend the two, doing movie reviews with a fun, like buddy personality. This is fun. I should be doing more of this, right? Just chatting instead of putting on a whole production. Bap for 1999. Thank you, Bap. One more quandary. With people my age, the sentiment is often that movies were better in the 90s. Were they better or just special to us because we grew up with them? Will kids going to see Captain America 4 love it years from now? That's a very good question. I think it's a bit of both. I do think movies now are less special, not for just people my age, but I think they're less special for people my kids' age. Not to say my kids don't love movies, they do. But going to films, at least for me, was a treat and an experience and almost a privilege at times. It wasn't something you did constantly, and they didn't have so much noise out there to drown everything out. It was always, this is the big movie coming out this week, or in a month from now, we have a big movie coming out. And in between, there's going to be some smaller, quieter releases people will definitely go to. It just felt like there was more care and prestige put into these films. There was also, I think, a lot more creativity when it comes to the blockbuster stuff. They were original in the 90s and in the 80s. And at some point, it kind of shifted, and the blockbusters just became sequels, prequels, sidequels, remakes. Now, you don't see that everywhere, though. The horror movies are kind of doing the opposite. Yes, there's a bunch of sequels and stuff. We still have another Saw coming out. We have another, I think there's another, I Know What You Did Last Summer in the works. They got a Final Destination 55 is coming out. But there is a lot of, look at the substance. Look at Hereditary. Look at Midsommar. There's tons of new style of horror films that are kind of bigger experiences. Terrifier. Not for everyone, for sure, but it's made its name as like a new kind of Jason or a new kind of Freddy. It's cool to see. It really is. And I think The other thing that's happening is celebrity status is not what it used to be either. We didn't have social media. We had big names on TV and movies. That was our thing. So the Tom Cruises, the Arnolds, the Sylvester Stallones, the Jean-Claude Van Dammes, the Nicole Kidmans, the Jenny McCarthy's, all these big names, the Albas, they were huge stars. And now what do you have? Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Tom Holland. There's a handful of new generation names that even a lot of younger generations don't know globally. And I've talked to people about this in the industry, and they will agree. That's why Liam Neeson is still churning out a bunch of Taken bullshit, because he's huge overseas. He has name recognition that a lot of these new stars do not have. Maybe I answered your question in a way. I still do think there's a lot of great stuff coming out. I just think that it's a different world we're living in, where people aren't seeing movies like people aren't watching movies the way they used to watch them. I mean, I already brought up how I saw The Matrix in theaters 3 or 4 times. The same with Jurassic Park. The same with like freaking Fifth Element and Independence Day. And it's just what you did. You went to the movies. You quoted the movies front to back. Now, comedies, I do think are a fucking disaster now. The priority has clearly not been put on comedy movies. You look back at the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and there was bangers. I just can't really think of them anymore. Oh, here we go. Paul Bros for Never. Okay. Oh, Paul. Is that like the Aaron Paul or the not Aaron Paul? I don't know those idiots. The boxer guy. Paul Bros for Never for $5. Thank you. Any movie that has caused a lot of friction in your family? The new Hunger Games made my family erupt in chaos at each other. The prequel, Songbirds and Snakes or whatever, that book sucked. The movie was better, but I remember being like a fine one-time watch. My family doesn't have much stake in the Hunger Games movies. I think they're all fine. They're watchable. The first one's not very good. They get better, I think. They peak at 2 actually, but the other ones aren't too shabby. As far as any movies that cause my family friction, well, Lindsay, my wife, was pissed at me after watching The Substance. I talked it up way too much, I guess. I don't know why I thought she would like it. I know she doesn't like the body dysmorphia shit, the body horror. Yeah, she was not thrilled with me watching the film. She was like actively upset watching it. Like, how dare you, sir? How dare you? She also didn't like Cuckoo. I was batting 0 on the last couple nights of movie picks. I paid for it dearly. As for the family as a whole, no, we don't have any friction in the family as far as the movies or music. You know, Connor's given Olivia plenty of shit over the years for liking Taylor Swift, although I think Connor's kind of come on the train a little bit, and she always rolls her eyes whenever he plays an Eminem song. But no, for the most part, we keep the peace here. Here's a fun one. Oh, let's get him on. Darton Ugles for $5. Thank you, Darton. Hey, Adam, are there any movies that didn't get made that you wish would have been made? Mine is Tim Burton's Batman 3. I would have loved to see it. Hell yeah, that would have been awesome. I'm a fan of the Burton Batman movies. I love Batman Returns. It would have been nice to get a proper. I don't even want to say it. Listen, they made Die Hard 5. I fucking hate Die Hard 5. It would have been nice to get one more cool Die Hard movie with Bruce Willis. You know, kind of like how they've sunset a lot of these characters. Stallone sunset Rocky, Rambo. I hope he sunset Rambo. It would have been nice for, even Harrison Ford with fucking Indiana Jones 5. It would have been nice if Willis, if we didn't have Die Hard 5, if he could have had a great last one to go out on. Because I actually like all 4 of the Die Hard movies, sans 5. 4 is watered down for sure, and it's super ridiculous what he can do in that one. But McClane is McClane. I'll always support him, except for Die Hard 5. As far as movies that didn't get, oh god, there is a trilogy that didn't finish. What was it? Oh my god, what? I know there's a movie that has two, and I can't remember it, and I would have liked to see a third installment, but I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you right now. I'm gonna have to circle back. It'll come to me at some point in this conversation, or someone will know and they'll say it in the comments. But thank you for the question. Batman, Batman 3, I think I agree with you. That would have been fantastic. Trying to catch up on some questions that I missed. Tina asks, "What movie had the most surprising ending?" Without spoiling it, I mean, I think I would say Seven is the first thing that comes to mind. It's kind of a generic, lame answer, but I think Seven would be what I would go with. Prisoners has an ending I wasn't expecting, nor did I like it. Oh God, you know, Saw. Saw is a stupid movie with some really bad acting, but the ending alone elevated it from a D in my book up to like a C plus B minus just because of that ending. So good. And it was so obvious, but yeah, fantastic. I think I would go Saw. Spooky Jarner. Any chance you quit your job and do this full time? Obviously not at this point, but eventually. Spooky Jarner is probably my boss in disguise. And so he's going to be like, all right, just say it, Adam. Just tell me that it. Now, Spooky, my channel would have to be magnitudes larger to make up the income I make as a front end developer and designer. Uh, Plus, I've been at the company for like 9 or 10 years at this point. Plus, as a YouTube creator, you don't get any benefits. There's no 401k. There's no health care. My wife's at home, so my whole family relies on me for insurance. It's just unfortunately not in the foreseeable future. I don't know if it could ever actually happen unless I'm pulling in like stupid amounts of views and revenue because of it and brand deals. And I shouldn't say never, but I think I probably would have more luck getting a movie made, filming it, directing it, and making some capital off of that than I would on YouTube. It's a great sentiment. It's a great thing to think about, and I would absolutely love with all my heart if I could do it full time, but it's just not here yet. Now, that said, we're almost at 100,000 subscribers. If 100,000 subscribers supported the channel on patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies at even $1 tier, well, shit, I can quit my job tomorrow. That's just not how it works, though. Matthew says, "This is great." That's not a question, Matthew. I'm joking. I'm glad you like it. I'm actually having a great time. I thought this was going to be a kind of a 15-minute live. No one would care, and I would just finish watching Anora. But I'm going to go upstairs to a pissed off wife because she's waiting to finish it. Bab is back for $4.99. I lied. I got another one for you. Is there a movie? IE, is that IE? Let me get the readers out. Is there a movie you could quote 95, 100% of? Cuckoo was great, by the way. Cinematography, A plus plus. I agree. There's not a movie I could quote like 95, 100%, but I did know a stupid amount of Austin Powers back in the day. In fact, I had the Dr. Evil, they had a poster and it was on my door in my bedroom and I memorized it. And it was the details of my life are quite inconsequential. And it went through the whole like history of Dr. Evil about being placed in a burlap sack and beaten with reeds. Pretty standard, really. I could do that whole thing, and that was a pretty fun little party trick. But no, there's no movie I know front to back by any means. Austin Powers, though, it had the right dialogue flow where I could definitely do long strings of quotes with my aunt. Actually, my aunt Patty loved Austin Powers. We would do quotes back and forth all the time when I would see her. See you in the future, Mr. Powers. Dumb and Dumber is another one. Dumb and Dumber, highly quotable from beginning to end. Thank you for the questions. Those are great. Darton agrees Die Hard 5 is completely awful. Primal Plasma says, I think Die Hard 2 is hard to get through. I was thinking for next month on Patreon, I would do the Die Hard trilogy because you get one free review and then you get two more if you're at the different tiers. I could probably throw in the fourth as well. I won't watch the fifth, but that would be fun to revisit those. I did watch Die Hard when it had the anniversary with my buddy Matt. We saw it in theaters, had a great time. I have not watched Die Hard 2 in a while, and I do know that that one is a little rocky. I like it because I grew up with it, but from like a critical standpoint, I'm sure there's a lot that's wrong. I just eat that shit up though. John McClane was just awesome to me. I know it has problems. It has a lot of problems. Oh yeah, Matthew, that is one of them that I do remember always wanting a District 9 sequel. They were supposed to come back after 10 years, I thought, right? Wasn't that the ending? He's the prawn. He's got that flower that he made in the landfill. Oh man, that movie's brutal. I got to show my kids that, but you have to have like that right day and make sure your stomach is pretty empty because that film can give you a little bit of a sickness watching it early on. It's intense. Oh, I didn't realize. Wait, I didn't realize this was a super chat. Die Hard 2 was hard for me because of the airport setting. Too big. Yeah, that's fair. It was a larger scale, but Die Hard with a Vengeance takes place in what, New York? That's a pretty big area as well. Did I not read this one? Paul Bros for Never for $5. Thank you again, Paul. Is there any classic movie or older movies that you haven't reviewed on the channel you absolutely hate? Mine is The Mist. My wife was pissed. Oh, I love The Mist. I love that movie. Oh, it's so sad that you don't like it. And that movie is another one that had a shocking ass ending. Classic movie or older movie? Man, are we calling that a classic movie now? I guess you said older movie. I've brought up The Mist several times on this channel, probably on live streams, and I praised it. I really like that film. The Fog would be the classic version of that. Movies that I've watched, like classics or older films that I absolutely hate and haven't talked about. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of them. A Biodome, pretty much anything Pauly Shore has ever made, I hate, except for Encino Man's okay, I guess. But Pauly Shore's entire catalog. Larry the Cable Guy, I think, had a couple films. Sure, they're atrocious. Goldberg, the wrestler, had a couple terrible action movies. I mean, I could spend probably all night just listing off a bunch of bad movies from the 80s and the 90s and even early 2000s that I have not covered on this channel. I'm sad that you don't like The Mist, but that's okay. We'll get past it. Henrik Anselmo. I probably said that absolutely wrong, and I apologize. I don't know what the R is. Rupees, $10. Thank you. Adam, I might have been your first Brazilian subscriber. Okay. Now I'm understanding. That probably changed after I'm Still Here videos. More than reviews. That's Brazil versus Amelia Perez feuds. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I talked about it with a guy I met at MegaCon, a buddy, Michael, that I should do Amelia Perez versus I'm Still Here, movie feuds. But then that would mean bringing back movie feuds, and I can't do that. YouTube hated it after it did so well, and then over years it fell off for some reason. YouTube would not push those at all. So no, I think that would be a fun video. Unfortunately, it's not in the cards, but that's awesome that you've been here for so long, and now you're seeing your fellow brethren come in flocks because of I'm Still Here, and I love it. I am going to cover a couple more Brazilian movies just because of that. Cinefanatic for 4.99. Andy, stop giving me money, sir. If you could go back and watch one film for the first time again, what would it be? It's either going to be Jurassic Park or The Matrix. Um, Again, Jurassic Park I saw with my mom in theaters. It was just such a amazing experience. The first time I fell in love, truly fell in love with movies. It's kind of like that to me was I think the same experience older folks had that saw Star Wars in theaters. Anybody that I would talk to teachers once in a while. I had a teacher in college, and she told me that she saw Star Wars on the big screen, and nothing like that had ever been seen before on that scale and in that kind of like realistic approach. Um, so that was Jurassic Park, and The Matrix was just from beginning to end. It was just blowing my mind all over the place. I thought it was just the coolest shit I'd ever seen. The tech was so advanced at the time. The way that they did the camera 360 spin with the bullet time and just all the style that that movie had, really it really became a personality for me for years. No, I didn't wear like a trench coat and shades. I just meant I thought it was so cool. I had like a Matrix background. I played the video games, and I really got into movies then. Man, yeah, Jurassic Park though, what a ride. Bat for 4.99. He's still going. I'm going broke on your stream. Have you seen the 1970s series Death Wish with Charles Bronson? Part two is my favorite. It's got young Fishburne. I love my fish. Love a young fish. I have not seen Death Wish. I think they remake it. Oh, they remake everything, so of course they did. But no, I haven't seen the Charles Bronson original. I have heard good things. Not This is not the first time I've heard this. There's a few classics I have not seen. Taxi Driver, I still have not seen that film. Primal for $5. So I had to clean out the glasses quick. You have a comedian aura. Have you ever considered auditioning for a show like SNL? I have not. I can't imagine I would have much of a shot getting on there. I don't know. It would be. I mean, it would be cool. Do they do open auditions? Do you do like a virtual audition? I could try that. I don't have stand-up material though. I should just take. You know, what'd be funny is if I just took old Jerry Seinfeld bits from the 80s and just straight faced through the whole audition. What's the deal with people holding mattresses on top of their cars? Do they really think they're going to hold a mattress down going 70 miles an hour on the highway? Yeah, your arm's going to hold that down. That would be funny. Or if I just ripped off a bunch of different comedians and just straight faced it the whole time like it was my own material. Like, all right, I'm going to do this is a thing that I kind of have been growing organically over the last couple of years, and then I do some old like George Carlin bit or Eddie Murphy. That would be good. Joseph. Hey, Adam. Do you still hate Nosferatu, or have you realized its greatness? Oh, I need a. pretend this is a stupid ass mustache. I still hate Nosferatu. Never had a desire to watch it again. It hasn't stuck with me in a positive way, though. It still sucks, Joseph. God, some of these names are just complicated. Maddest Martigan. Which Saw Trap was hardest for you to watch? I said this not that long ago, but there's a couple in Saw 2. The one where they put their hands through the irreversible little stupid finger trap contraption. That one's brutal, ripping the wrists, and then the woman just getting thrown into the needles. That's just disgusting and painful to look at. And that woman survives and becomes psychotic. I haven't seen a lot. I watched maybe the first 3, maybe 4 Saw movies. I skipped a whole shitload of them up into 10. When it comes to horror movies, or any movie for that matter, except for now because I treat this thing as a second full-time job. But up until the last 2 years, any movie that starts to go off the rails and get terrible, I fucking walk away from. I still have only seen a couple of the Halloween movies. I've seen the first 3. And Halloween got stupid at 2, in my opinion. And I know there's probably some. I saw Halloween H2O because that was really a big deal when it came out. It was going to be the end of Michael Myers. But as far as like Nightmare on Elm Street, the Jason franchise, I seriously haven't seen a lot of them because they're so stupid after a while. And I know horror fans just love them because they get dumb, and that's like part of the charm. But for me, I really don't. I don't enjoy watching bad movies. I do enjoy destroying a bad movie after I suffered through it. But it's never like, oh, I'm excited to sit here miserably for 2 hours or an hour and a half and watch some shitty thing so that I can make fun of it. It's always the opposite. It's always, I just watched this shitty thing. I spent my time and sometimes my money on it. Now I can't wait to rip it a new one. Oh my God, I kind of lost my spot. Oh, Justin asks, what 5 movies have you watched over and over again? I think I already kind of stated. Anything in my top 10 that I list off earlier is going to be a movie that I've watched probably 7 or 8 or 12 times. Die Hard, I've seen a stupid amount. Austin Powers, Dumb and Dumber, Cable Guy, Happy Gilmore, Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Fight Club, Seven, a lot of David Fincher's, I won't even say early stuff because it's most of his stuff. He just doesn't do a lot of movies anymore, but most of his catalog, a lot of Spielberg movies I've seen a bunch of times. The Harry Potter entire franchise I've probably watched 8 or 9 times all the way through. There's a lot of movies. Back to the Future trilogy I've seen a stupid amount of times. The funny part is, though, I watched all these, mainly when I was in high school and in my teens and 20s. And even though I've seen them so many times, because so much time has passed and I've gained so much knowledge, and you only have so much room in your stupid, computer in your head, I have forgotten a lot of stuff. So if I were to watch Back to the Future trilogy again right now, it would truly, there'd be a lot of new things for me. It would feel like a first time in some moments for sure. Oh, I don't remember this scene. Did they add this somehow to the streaming version of the movie? Die Hard I still have pretty locked in, but there's definitely a lot of films that I've seen probably 8 times, and if I watched them again now, it'd be kind of fresh. Oh, there's disappointment here. Taxi Driver, Adam. I know. What's the deal with movie review channels? Bap again, just an all-star tonight. Smash Mouth in it, $9.99. Came back just to say, take a month to review classics during months when nothing good is out. I'll do my part and catch up on current classics like Amelia Perez. We live for your shit movie rants, by the way. I appreciate that. Here's the deal. If I am going to do classic reviews, they will undoubtedly go to Patreon. And that might be a great spot for them because I do 3 movie reviews over there a month exclusively. I could definitely make 2 of them classic movie reviews, or at least one of them. That would be fun to do. A movie I've never seen before. I appreciate that, but that would not help my channel here. The algorithm is a fickle bitch, and I have been cataloged nicely by YouTube now as a guy that covers modern new stuff coming out. I do not want to rock this boat. I don't want to start making waves. Every time I start to mess with the channel, YouTube gets pissed and they stop pushing the content. Seth Foster for $5. Thank you, Seth. Saw Jury Number 2 by Clint Eastwood. Dude does so little with so much. Only he can make world-class actors feel so bland. Toni Collette tried her damnedest. Damn. Yeah, I just really haven't had much interest in watching that. Eastwood kind of lost me after the last couple movies. I mean, I still think $1 Million Baby is a fantastic film. Depressing as fuck, though. And Gran Torino, really good as well. You know, I'm going to grab some water really quick. Water. I'll be right back. My throat is parched. As promised, I returned. I was going to look for headphones to put on, but I don't need them. Richard asks, are you going to review The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie which is releasing on March 14th in theaters? It's a 2D animated sci-fi comedy starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. Richard, do you work for the company? This is such a detailed amount of information. Yes, I am going to be covering The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie releasing on March 14th in theaters, a 2D animated sci-fi comedy starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. I do plan on watching that. It was actually on my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2025 list. You can check that you can check that review out on my channel. I do talk about this film. I show trailer footage. I'm very excited for a classic 2D film in the Looney Tunes, art style genre. Is it a genre? It's not a genre. Okay. Eddie or Ray, we don't know who it is. Surf's Up is my favorite movie. The sequel, however, it's as far from being the first one, but I'm not hating on it. I didn't see Surf's Up 2, but Surf's Up is a fun movie. You know, the kids and I, actually the whole family watched it, I would say like a year ago. We randomly put it on. It's a fun little flick. Oh yeah, I've seen it. Tina says Deliverance was a good older movie. Have you seen it? Like it? I've seen Deliverance. Skidda ding 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 ding. Squeal like a pig, boy. It's a tough watch. Man versus man, and then they're out in the elements. A River Wild sort of situation. Jon Voight is in that. A young Jon Voight. There's another prominent actor in it, but I have seen it. It's a good movie. It's a good movie, and the ending is it's kind of haunting, the bittersweetness of the ending. Very good. Not gonna lie, I do like your reviews. The secret's out. It'd be weird if you were here and you didn't. God, I hate this fucking guy. I keep watching his channel though. Ugh. Richard works for Looney Tunes. He works for Acme. Richard works for Acme. It's confirmed. Tony for $5. Thank you, Tony. Your thoughts on Frailty, directed by Bill Paxton. It's such an underrated gem. It's so underrated, I have not seen, nay, heard of it. Frailty, 2001. What in the world? The best horror movie you've probably never seen, says a YouTube person. I've not heard of this film, but it does have very good ratings. It's got, is that Matthew McConaughey? No. It looks like him. Damn, I'm gonna have to check this out. Appreciate it. Jordan for $6.99. Thank you, Jordan. Which movie trilogies should have stayed just as a single movie? Fast and the Furious for starters, although who am I to say they're making a ton of money? Jurassic Park. Really, only the first one's good. The rest of them are either terrible, insulting, insufferable, or occasionally all right. I'd say I only really like 2 Jurassic Park movies, and that's 1 and Jurassic World. But I do watch, but I like I would think I would put, I ranked them quite a while back, but I think I put Jurassic Park 3 at like the number 3 spot. It's so stupid, but it's like an hour and a half long. You're in and out. You got a Spinosaurus in there. I'm fine. There needs to be more dinosaur movies in general. But yeah, Jurassic Park is probably the biggest one that should have just been one and done. BAP again, $4.99. Thank you. I hear what sounds like an accent. Where are you from? And I thought this was your full-time gig. What do you do for work outside the tube? Hello, governor. I'm from Minnesota, and you'll know when I say the word Minnesota because it's the most Minnesotan sounding word you can possibly say. Yeah, sure. No, that was more. Whenever I try to do a Minnesotan accent, it comes off completely wrong. Don't you know? I can't. Don't you know? I've been living in the South for 3 years, so I'd like to think that I'm starting to pick up or starting to lose something, gaining something. Who knows? I'm North Southerner. I'm Northwesterner. No, Northeasterner. Yeah, I'm a Northeasterner. My wife has a pretty bad Minnesotan accent. My family has atrocious Minnesotan accents. I think I did okay. But it's there. It's there. It's there. Let me tell you. I tell you what. I do occasionally get told I'm from Canada, and I don't think there's a compliment I would take any more than that. They are my neighbor, or they were. Oh, and as far as the gig full time, yeah, no, this is the hobby. This is not the full time high paid job. This is the hobby. It makes, I want to say, I'm not good at math. 1/5 a month that my regular paying job does. So it's not even close to being a full-time gig. I've been a front-end web developer and front-end web designer. I'm a hybrid, as they say, for many years now. I think 14 or 15 years. And I do video editing as well at my job. So I'm wearing a lot of hats, as they say. And it's a great company. They treat me well. I have a lot of flexibility, which is very important to me, obviously. And I'm I've been full-time remote even before COVID. You earn the trust, and that's the important thing for a company. But this is the thing I like. This is the job I love to do. You have the job you're at. My wise late grandpa Bill used to always say, you have the job you're at and the job you're going to. So I've had my steady income, my steady job for many, many years, and I've had my passion job for many years as well now. And I'm just going to keep trying to grow this and trying to maintain that. There's not like a lot of room for me to grow in the company anymore, unfortunately, although they are making some changes that are beneficial. But no, this has never been a full-time gig for me. Seth Foster. Going to lie, hate your reviews. That's the bold statement. That's the brave statement. You come on the channel and you say, you know what? Your reviews blow. I'm here because you suck so hard. Okay, now we started something. A $5 super chat from R. Johnny Cuddy. Kid Cuddy. Thanks for reviewing streaming movies consistently. Not many other YouTuber reviewers bother with them. Helps to weed out the bad stuff. I mean, it's all kind of bad stuff, unfortunately. I'm glad that you're appreciating it, though. It is a delicate dance to know what to cover, what to avoid, like the plague. I don't want to come off as a hate channel. That's all the rage these days. Those channels do very well for themselves. I pride myself in just being an honest and hopefully entertaining movie critic that gives balanced reviews. So yeah, covering a lot of streaming movies that I know are probably going to be kind of shitty can be a dangerous game as well, because I don't want people just coming to the channel to hear me bitch about how bad something is all the time. As fun as that can be to both do and to hear, it's also nice to have some positive reviews and to show people that, hey, I like movies a lot. I have a whole catalog of films I'm into. I want to make movies someday. I'm not getting any younger, so I'm going to be pushing harder on that this year. But yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying the streaming reviews. Thank you. I was going to say Burt Reynolds, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot, Tina. Thank you for confirming what I was thinking in my brain, but not saying out loud. Jimbo for $5. Thank you, Jimbo. What movie has a reality or world you would most like to live in? Great work on the Chan. Short for channel. Thank you, Jimbo. It's always nice to see you. Well, Harry Potter, I mean, comes to mind. It seems like such a fun, whimsical place. That butterbeer. Every time I go to Universal Studios, I get so craven for the butterbeer. I have to have it. And I was actually really upset because I was at Universal Studios through the MegaCon Nights thing, and they did not have the hot butterbeer, which is my favorite. I had to get the frozen, which is still good, but I like the hot stuff. George likes his chicken spicy. So Harry Potter. This just seems like the obvious one. Most of the realities that I see in movies are kind of dystopian, miserable, sad places. I think that's one of the charms of the Potter franchise, is even though there is this horrible looming threat, the world itself is very colorful and lively and upbeat. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Mick Luffy says, "Evening, Adam. Is there any movies that you saw that you thought was going to be bad but ended up being great?" Yes, Mick. Notoriously, Speed Racer is at the top of that list, getting completely eviscerated by critics. And I remember seeing it in theaters with my wife. I kind of dragged her to it. She was not looking forward to the film. I thought the trailers were pretty bad, but we had nothing better to do on a Saturday afternoon, so we went. and we freaking loved it. We thought it was a really fun, action packed family movie, incredibly unconventional, but colorful, lively, had emotion, had a great family dynamic. Susan Sarandon's a powerhouse in this movie. John Goodman is great. Emil Hirsch it puts in a good performance. Like the whole cast is fantastic. Speed Racer. Did not expect to like that one. And there has been a bunch of movies that have come and gone where I thought, oh God, this is going to be terrible. And it surprised me. Well, I'm Still Here, the Brazilian film. I actually went in thinking this is going to be a slog. This is going to be some artsy crap. I'm not going to like it. And I was freaking moved by the film. So yeah, they can get me. They can often get me. And it works Uno reverse as well. I've gone to movies very hyped, Matrix 4, and been left completely deflated, pissed off. Yeah, Minnesota. Don't you know? Seth Foster says, say bag. 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 I know what you want me to do, you son of a bitch. Bag. You want me to say dragon, bag, boat. Dragon, bag. One I do really poorly is roof. I always say, so when I try to say it right, I think I'm saying it right. Rooftop. I would say roof instead of roof. There's a lot of words that are just challenging. Except we here in Minnesota don't pronounce our T's really. Yeah, that's a huge one. I get shit on all the time. Why are you saying hit the subscribe button? See, I said it there. Hit the subscribe button. See, that's what it sounds like, a D button. Hit the subscribe button. When I feel like I'm over pronouncing when I do hit that T and it sounds unnatural. These are the struggles that I have constantly. It's really, really sad stuff. Okay. Oh, that's a tough name for me. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I don't know how to do it. A Billish, Panda, 200 something funny money. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate anything. It's awesome of you. And I'm not, no disrespect. I truly just don't know how to pronounce a lot of names like that. Hey Adam, any future stream planned with Cody and Sean? I missed the trio. Yeah, those guys are busy, and I don't know. I feel true story. I think I've had them onto my streams 3 or 4 times, and I know I've invited them on my streams probably half a dozen more in the past. And it's usually they're busy or they can, but then something comes up, and it's fine. I don't care. I'm not upset or anything. It's just they're hard to get on the stream anymore, and the invite's never reciprocal. I've never been invited onto Sean's channel in any capacity, and I am going to be joining Cody's channel. He did invite me, which was nice, to the 31 on 31, I believe it's called. I can't do the May one. He gave me the option of either the May or the October. I think that's right, May or October. Yeah, it's so random. I can't do the May one because that weekend we're probably going to be moving back to Minnesota. That's the plan, at least, unless I win the fucking lottery and I can go, some beach somewhere. That's the plan, though, is I will be on his channel way down in October for the 31 on 31. Otherwise, I don't have any plans. I feel stupid like reaching out and being like, hey, can I come on your channel? Or it's just people have busy lives. Guitar Lord. Adam definitely calls Coke pop. Yeah, I say pop because what do you hang on, what do you mean? I call Coke, as in Coca-Cola Classic, as in the drink, a Coke. Hey, could I have a Coke? I don't call Mountain Dew Coke because I'm not a fucking idiot. Okay, that's just stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Can I have a Coke? Oh, what kind of Coke would you like? Then that's not a thing. It's, hey, I'll have a soda or I'll have a pop, but I don't even say that. I just straight up say, the waiter might be like, what would you like to drink, sir? And I will say, thank you, sir, for acknowledging me as such. I appreciate that. I will have a Coke, as in the drink. And they will never say, like, oh, what kind of Coke would you like? I know I'm off on a tangent, but let's just be practical. Bath for $4.99. Son of a bee. My whole family is from Minneapolis. I failed at picking that up, don't you know? I told you, I'm pretty good with the lack of Minnesota stank on my accent. I'm pretty good. Accent. The name again that I can't say, I'm gonna just say AP. Is that okay? AP for 100. I assume that translates perfectly to American dollars. $100. Your favorite rock bands or which type of music you listen to? I'm a big fan of a lot of different types of music. I go a lot of punk, pop bands from the 90s and 2000s. I like Yellow Card. I love Jimmy Eat World is one of my go-tos, one of my favorite bands. Obviously you got Taking Back Sunday. You got come on. Who do I listen to a lot? Blink 182, Sum 41. You know that whole crew, and then you have the people that came after, like We the Kings, The Maine. Just a bunch of groups that are kind of in that same sound. Other than that, I like rock. I mean, Metallica, I grew up on Metallica. Megadeth is awesome. Billy Talent, I think, is incredibly underrated. Shout out to the Canadian band Billy Talent. Fucking awesome music from those guys. I even like Finger 11, another Canadian band. Our Lady Peace, kind of not hard. They're not really rock per se. They're rock, and I would say a little bit more pop style. Yeah, I love my pop princesses too. I'm not going to lie. For coding, I put on just the most mainstream shit pop music you could possibly imagine. Not so much Taylor Swift anymore. I'm burned out by her, but like Olivia Rodrigo, I'll play her albums front to back. Who's the new hotness out there? Sabrina Carpenter. I play her shit front to back. Dua Lipa, like pretty much anything in that kind of like disposable pop crap music. It's perfect for just background. I actually wrote my entire movie script to basically Olivia Rodrigo. It just hyped me up. But no, I like a lot of pop stuff. You'll hear me often on this channel randomly pulling out some lyrics from Cake or Limp Bizkit. Uh, it's just, variety is the spice of life. I'm not huge into country, although a little bit of Rascal Flatts goes a long way. It's about as much as I can do there. Oof. Boober says, grew up north of you. I've been working on my voice because I sound like shit. It's just tough. It's tough. We can't help where we're born, but we can change it. Kyle Harlow. Hot Frosty received 0 Oscar nominations. Thoughts? Not happy about it. When is Lacey gonna get her due? Huh? Lacey's putting in the work. She's out there whoring her ass out to Hallmark, making 45 different Christmas movies a year. Now she's on the Netflix bandwagon. What is she doing? It's truly sad. You know what'd be funny is if Hallmark actually did like a Snow Abrasion Awards or something, if every year they gave awards out to the best Christmas, if it's just an entirely Christmas based bullshit awards ceremony and they invite all these stupid actors from their Hallmark films, like Candace Cameron is there, and her crazy brother, and of course Lacey's hosting or someone. That would be freaking hilarious. And the obviously the statue would just be a snowman. They would have different categories based around Christmas and the holidays. The award for the best holiday cheer goes to, and then it'd be the same 4 or 5 stupid Hallmark movies. Oh my god, this would be hilarious. I should fucking do this. If someone can remind me when Christmas comes around this year to do an awards ceremony for Hallmark stupid Christmas movies. I'll host it. I'll make it a whole production. That'd be freaking hilarious. Skinning on me, da 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 da, sweet espresso. White wine or red or something else. We're getting it. We're getting to know you here. Movies will be there. A red wine. I don't drink. Period. I know. Super lame. I figure I'm already the life of the party. Why would I get more lively? I just genuinely don't drink. It's not any sort of religious or spiritual or health thing at all. I always just never I just never got into it. In a lot of ways I was kind of like anti what's the cool thing to do growing up. And so when it became the popular thing to get drunk off your ass on a Friday night and cruise the strip with your buddies, I just thought it was kind of lame and stupid. I would definitely partake in the fun with these guys and just, hang out with them and watch them look like idiots. But, I never drank, and I still don't to this day. There's no rhyme or reason to it other than I remember my dad giving me a beer when I was like 14 because he was drinking one, and I was like, "What's it taste like?" And so he's like, "Here you go," and he handed it to me because he knew that I wouldn't like the taste at 14, which was smart. Alcohol is something I know you have to kind of like grow into for most people, get accustomed to it. I hated it, and that was enough right there to just make me never want to even touch it again. As far as like wine and stuff, occasionally I'll dabble on like a special holiday. I'll have a glass of white wine. I'm more towards the fruitier of the wine drinks. The colorful stuff is kind of playful. I like that. That's fine too. A red wine. Okay, we got a $10 from Dorton. Again, Darton, I'm sorry. $10. Take this $10 and link it. What live action movies do you think would have been better animated or vice versa? I think the Legend of Zelda movie live action instead of animated is a big mistake. I agree with you 1,000 gabillion percent. First off, and I already bitched about this on a video, I'm pretty sure. What is Nintendo thinking? They have a cash cow with that Illumination Mario movie. You got Zelda in the wings. Why would you not make it animated and then eventually build up your own MCU and put these assholes in the same film together under the Smash Brothers moniker? It makes sense. It's a real thing that already exists. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're thinking. And Zelda, my favorite Zelda, and I've played most of them, is Wind Waker. Beautiful cell shading, the vibrant color palette, the whimsy. I love the whimsy. And the art style is brilliant in that. They could have so taken that and put it on the big screen. If we would have got a Wind Waker style Zelda film, forget about it. It would have been awesome. But no. Nintendo makes one smart decision, so now we got to go the complete opposite with it. We got a 1990s this Mario in the Zelda verse now. We got a 1990s Zelda and be stupid with it. No, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. We should have had Mario. We should have had Zelda. We should have had Metroid animated. You could have done Metroid in like an Into the Spider-Verse, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that new one style. That would have been sweet with that art style in Metroid. Oh man, that would have been really cool, especially with like a retro kind of synth wave music. Oh, I could see it. It would be so sweet. They're gonna drop the ball in all of this. I just have a feeling they're gonna drop the ball. We got to move on. Now I'm upset. Thank you, Darden, for ruining my life. Kyle's back for $5. Thank you, Kyle. When I grew up, Mountain Dew came in one flavor: Mountain Dew. None of this Baja Blast with a CGI seal that looks like seal. None of this Baja Blast bullshit. That'd be a good rant on the second channel. What are we doing with food anymore? All the different flavors of Oreo, of Mountain Dew. It's getting nuts. It's getting crazy out there. And you can't beat the original. You just can't. People will try. They'll dabble. They'll pretend that they like Code Red more. Live Wire. Whatever that Halo Master Chief abomination is. No, you stick with the OG every time. Best shark movie besides Jaws. I got a couple for you. Hang on. Jesus. I'm gonna drop my readers, my precious readers. I got a 3-pack at Costco for like $25. Only the finest for this guy. Deep Blue Sea is my second favorite Jaws movie. Hilarious, over the top, cheesy, campy fun from front to back. Third on that list is The Shallows with America's sweetheart right now, Blake Lively. She's smoking hot in that film, and the movie's actually really damn good. I enjoy The Shallows. Fourthly on the list would be, now I forget the name of it. It's the one where the idiots are left out in the ocean. It's kind of like based around true things that happen, where they go down snorkeling and they forget how many people they had for a head count and they leave them there. That one. Deep water, something water. Something water. Deep water, dark water, open water. I think it's open water. I'm going to go with it. I heard The Reef is better, but I've not seen The Reef. Bat for $4.99 says nothing uncool about not drinking. You gave a strong female leads. And that puts you at a notch 1 in my book. And frankly, it's about time. Oh, he did a Snoop and Starsky and Hutch reference, but I was focused on getting my It's About Time in. Primal Plasma says, wow, I never saw Speed Racer because of bad reviews. Maybe I'll watch it now. Primal, you should watch it. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to really watch it. I want you to put it on a big TV, get the phone out of the room, shut off the lights, get some popcorn and a Coca-Cola Classic, which means a fucking Coke. And I want you to take it in. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to take about 10 minutes. All right. You're going to be watching and you're going to go, what the hell is this? This is weird. I'm not feeling it. And then it's going to hit you. And it's either going to hit you and you're going to go, okay, I actually really dig what they're doing. I'm in. Let me go on this journey. Or you're going to go, yeah, no, this isn't for me. It's stupid and dumb. Just give it a shot. But I want you to really give it a shot, okay? Tina asks, have you met any actors? Yeah, I have. I've had a couple on my channel, actually. They're not big names, but they've been in some big movies. I actually just talked. Robbie Tan, I still talk to. He just texted me a couple days ago. He was from The Creator, the movie that came out a couple years ago. That director is actually doing the new Jurassic World film. Andrew was just on here like last week. He's a newer actor. He made a movie, starred in it. Obviously I've met actors at like MegaCon and shit, but no, I haven't gone to any like soirees or red carpet affairs and had deep conversation with actors by any means. let's go, let's go to the bag. Wait, Eddie or Ray? So Eddie or Ray? Let's go to the bag. So this is like this has got to be my brother-in-law, Joe. He's the only one that I think I've ever told that. There's only a handful of people that know the phrase "let's go to the bag," and that is a reference to a story I told him one time, and we always do this quote where I was at a Lifetime Fitness. I'm sorry, it was an Anytime Fitness. I'm already doing a fisherman's tale, and there was a dude in there who was kind of eyeing me up for a while. I'm doing different weights, doing my thing, and he comes over, and he's one of those guys. You'll meet one of them at a health club if you've gone to one for any amount of time. They're the expert there. This guy looked a little rough. He looked like he'd seen some shit, and apparently he'd been in some sort of a boot camp, or he was an ex-Marine, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. He was probably making it up. But he's telling me how he did all these squats and he did all these different exercises, but the best thing you could do is hit the punching bag. And so he's telling me all this stuff, and then he pauses and he looks over at the bag over there, and he looks at me and he goes, "Let's go to the bag." Like I'm his mentor now. I'm sorry, I'm his mentee. He would be the mentor. I'm learning from him. I'm the student here. He just out of nowhere interrupts my workout. "Let's go to the bag." It's ridiculous. Oh, that's good stuff. Well, hi Joe, if it's you or one of your brothers. What new movie do you recommend to see? I mean, you watch my channel, you might have saw some reviews I did recently that were good for movies. Those would be the ones I would recommend based on my reviews. I honestly don't remember, to be honest with you, what the hell I saw that I was like, oh man, this needs to be seen by people. I'm Still Here. Watch I'm Still Here if you can find it in theaters. Heart Eyes, if you're looking for a nice, quick, in and out horror film. That one will get the job done. Heart Eyes. Nobody saw it, but I thought it was perfectly fine. Companion, another horror film, pretty good. I'm just looking through my list of movies I've reviewed recently that I actually liked. It's been a rough couple months. I mean, I like Better Man quite a bit. The CGI ape movie, it's CGI chimp. Nobody again saw that one in theaters. I think it's available to stream somewhere. Better Man was good if you like musicals, if you like biopics, if you like a CG chimp playing a singer for some ass reason. I don't know why, but it worked. I'm Still Here is legitimately good though, and that one's still pretty fresh. It's up for awards. Let's go to the bag. Cheers or Seinfeld? Thank you for the 199 super chat, Bap. I'm Seinfeld. Seinfeld's my favorite sitcom of all time. I know the show pretty much front to back. Cheers was before my time. I really have not given it much of a watch. I've seen a handful of episodes, but I've never gone all the way through the series. So it's unfair for me to say which one's truly, in my eyes, a better show. But Seinfeld is just, it belongs to me. It has my heart. $5 super chat from Guitar Lord. Speaking of Jaws movies, which one is a better third installment? Jaws 3 or Rocky 3? How do you say it? Gossett versus Mr. T. Weathers versus Quaid. Tough call. Thoughts? I actually don't think it's a tough call at all. Rocky 3 is far superior to Jaws 3. There's only one good Jaws movie, and that's the first one. The 2 is like serviceable, but nothing great. It would be kind of like Die Hard 2. Jaws 3D is pretty bad. I don't know why anyone would think that this is even a remotely tough competition. Rocky 3's got what? Clubber Lane, Mr. T, Pity the Fool. It's got Hulk Hogan. I know everybody loves him now, but he has that little exhibition match at the beginning. I think that's in 3, right? It's either 3 or 4. They're so interchangeable. It's 3. 3 is fantastic. Mickey dies in 3, right? It, it, it's a great flick. I think 3 and 4. I always have a hard time which one I like more. I go back and forth on it. 4 is the more popular one, but I think 3 does a lot of the stuff that 4 just kind of piggybacked off of. Just 3 is not in this. It's not even in the conversation. Emilia for $1.99. Thank you, Emilia. Which movie you don't tire of watching? I think is what she meant. It's getting redundant. I know. I apologize, but usually your favorite movies are the ones you don't get tired of watching. I'll say Harry Potter. We just have that shit on in the background all the time. Here's a random one that we watch every Christmas without a fault. Not Die Hard. That's also on there, but Home Alone 2. I think Home Alone 2 is the superior Home Alone. I've said this my entire life. I stand by it. I think that movie's funny as hell from front to back. I mean, hell, Christmas Vacation is funny as hell from front to back. But I think Harry Potter, those movies, they're just, I don't know. There's something about them that's special. And I can sit down and watch them without a problem, pretty much front to back. But I like them just being on in the background because at this point, they're just part of the household. $5. Thank you for just being me. Hey, Adam. We're getting a little long in it. We gotta get the glass. Hey, Adam, are you still getting hate for not liking Godzilla -1? That shit was hilarious. I love the movie, but your honest review had me dying. It was a time. It was a time for sure. God, did I hate Godzilla -1? Did I truly say I hated the movie? Maybe I did. I tried watching it again with my wife because obviously my whole family knew about the kerfluffle that was that review and how much people were pissed and raging on me for not liking a fucking movie with a giant, stupid, slow-moving lizard. My wife tried watching it. She said after about 10 minutes, yeah, no, I don't care about any of this. I don't know. I think for Godzilla fans, it's a big deal. And for people outside of that world, like us basic people, I suppose, us simpletons, just wasn't anything that special. Sorry, I've seen other movies handle that type of material, sans the giant lizard, better. The story of disappointment and rejection and coming to terms with who you are and rebuilding and getting away from a horrific event and family togetherness and building a new family. And there's a lot of messages there. And I thought they just were kind of sloppily told. That's all. But no, I don't. I'm not still getting hate for not liking Godzilla -1. Once in a while, a comment will come in. This is from the same jackass that didn't like Godzilla -1 or Nosferatu. And it typically seems to be the same people that like both movies. Also, we'll throw out the hate. It's fine, whatever. I'm gonna be honest. There's been so many comments coming in now on the videos that I just don't have time to kind of sift through them all and get like upset over someone calling me a name or being pissed about a review. And for the most part, it's a lot of nice stuff. And so I'm done with it at this point. I don't really comment on things that are negative anymore. Once in a while, I'll still sink in and I'll go, I got to say something, but then I delete it and I just walk away. I'm like, nope, I got to move past this shit. And I will comment on nice comments on occasion, and that's about it. Bat for a $9.99, just a shot out of a cannon tonight. Ever gotten into nature documentaries perfect for nighttime relaxing? Again, to date myself, I recommend 1980, 1970s David Attenborough, Life on Earth, and the Living Planet series. You know what? I own Planet Earth, not to brag, but I own Planet Earth on HD DVD. I picked a side of that war and I lost my ass on it, but I have Planet Earth HD DVD edition. It might be. I still have a lot of shit packed away, so I don't know if I. Oh. Eh. Oh, oh, Planet Earth, baby, HD DVD. This one, I believe, is narrated by Sigourney Weaver. There's two versions of the narration. I have the superior Sigourney one. March of the Penguins, great documentary. I've dabbled. Okay, I've dabbled over the years for sure. I don't know if I've seen the. I have seen The Living Planet. I have not seen Life on Earth. All right, it is 11:24. I'll probably run this for another 5 minutes and shut her down. Although this has been awesome, we might have to do this again soon. Maybe this is just what we do on Tuesdays. Is we have this little chill, ask me anything kind of approach. It feels a lot better. May I have a pop? I don't say that either, but it's better than a Coke unless you're actually referring to Coca-Cola. This is not hard to figure out. BAP, another 9.99, dominating the conversation. But hey, pay to play, baby. Pay to play. Best season of Sign, short for Seinfeld, of course. Season 4 and 5 are my favorites. Season 4, Kramer goes to LA, and 5 is the pitch to NBC. Have you seen outtakes? For fans, the bloopers are music. Watch it. I think you mean must watches. HD DVD. Good luck with those. Yeah, ends with a little snark, but yes, of course, I've seen the like behind the scenes, the commentary from the cast. I have the DVDs. I'm not going to grab those, but they're actually down there somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. The LA stuff is probably my least favorite of any of the Seinfeld stuff. Anytime they leave the area, leave the apartment, and go off to beaches and whatnot, it loses me a little. Although Bubble Boy is brilliant, I guess it's the two-parters that I'm not the biggest fan of. I still love them, but out of all the show, out of all the episodes, those are the weakest. Those seasons, though, in general, are very good. I think anything 3 through really the end of the series are fantastic. Obviously, 8 and 9, the characters get really cartoonish, but they're still hilarious. The Twix candy bar episode is still that's like the last season, and it's fucking great. And now, without further ado, I give you the candy lineup. God, I'm so far behind. I'm seeing comments on like my music taste. Let me catch up. Seinfeld and Friends are the only truly rewatchable sitcoms. My wife's rewatching Friends right now, and I think she's given up. Those later seasons of Friends are pretty rough. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there early on. Nathan says, Adam, these weekly streams are great. Thank you, Nathaniel. I said Nathan before. 1,000 apologies. There is no planet Earth, only Zool. Nice. Okay, 2 more minutes and we're out. Have you seen Jake Jones? Have you seen Jesse Rosenberg's A Real Pain? Is that the one? Wait, no, I think you mean Jesse Eisenberg. Real Pain. I think that's the Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. I honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. I tried watching that fucking movie. I found it to be boring as crap. I stopped. It's with him and Kieran Culkin. I love both those guys. I stopped after about 35 minutes. It's just a pilgrimage through something that's meaningful to them, and that's fine. But I didn't find it to be funny. I didn't find it to be very emotionally impactful. It's probably one of those films that grows on you the longer you watch, and it has a hard hitting ending. I couldn't do it. And I know it's up for some awards, but not for me. Mask on or off? Late to the live stream. Have you watched Severance? I said I'm watching it soon with my wife. It's next on our list. The whole family's up over at the Marsh House. Adam, do you like Heartbreak Kid? Listen, the Marsh family, Joe specifically, has been pushing for years. This is Lindsay's sister and her husband, whatever. They've been pushing for years for me to watch The Heartbreak Kid. Adam, you have to watch Ben Stiller's Heartbreak Kid. It's the funniest movie ever. Adam, you have to watch Heartbreak Kid. I kid you not. Every time I saw this fucking guy, it was, Adam, have you watched Heartbreak Kid yet? Like, it's the greatest thing ever. And so I finally watched the damn movie, and it was fine. I thought it was funny. It had moments. It's not like the greatest comedy, though. Like, he built it up so much, but it was fine. It was funny. I laughed. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I haven't watched it again since, but it was okay. Out of the Ben Stiller movies, I would say it's like his 7th or 8th best. Space VYX says, I'll watch Heart Eyes now. Thanks, Adam. Well, don't thank me until you see it and like it. Otherwise, you can be like, hey, Adam, screw you. I hope you enjoy it. I think it was a fun, easy watch. I think you are awesome, says Cinefanatic. Hey, right back at you, Slate. Good stream. See y'all at the bag. Good stream. See y'all at the bag. Let's go to the bag. Let's go to the bag. Raymond asked the tough hitting question of the night. Do you like the 2000s live action Scooby-Doo movies? I think they were both written by James Gunn, or maybe it's just Monsters Unleashed. It's so sad that I know some of the stuff I know. They're fine. They're fine. I wouldn't say I don't like seek them out. I've never been jonesing to watch the Scooby-Doo live action movies. They're entertaining and silly enough. Kind of like that Flintstones live action movie with John Goodman those years ago. It's kind of in that same league, I would say. But there's a couple horrific parts in that Scooby-Doo movie. I think I did a movie feuds on Scooby-Doo versus Scooby-Doo 2, and there's some pretty funny observations in there about some of the horrific scenes in that first movie. Just scary CG that looks nightmare fuelish. You know they're good glasses when they make like a jiggle sound effect. That's how you know they're good. Thanks, Costco. Mr. Flickster says, I think Sting is one of the best horror movies of 2024. Hey, there's another actor that I've talked to. The girl from Sting, who was also in a couple other big movies that year. She was in not Mad Max, the Furiosa. She was the young Furiosa. She's great in Sting. Good little actress. And that movie was fun. I saw it with my family a second time at home. We all enjoyed it. They liked it as well. Heartbreak Kid has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. To be fair, Rotten Tomatoes is not nice to comedies at all. I don't think Dumb and Dumber is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I probably just made that up, but Dumb and Dumber Rotten Tomatoes. 67%. It's barely fresh. It's hanging on to fresh. I mean, come on. This was a fun live stream. I agree. It was very fun. I think we have the last super chat of the night, unless another one comes in by the time I'm done answering this. BAP, B-A-P. It's in the name. $9.99. I'm here for more live streaming if you are into money and stuff. Fuck Matrix forever. Oh, he says Matrix 4 forever, but forever would have worked too. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, BAP. I really like it. What's that stand for? You don't have to answer if it's personal, but is this something I should know and I'm not connecting? Nathaniel Fincher. Adam, aren't you friends with a very famous movie actor named Tony from Hack the Movies? Yes, that's true. Tony from Hack the Movies. He is one of my best friends online. I still haven't met him in person. We're hoping to rectify that this year. We chat every week. He's a good guy. And yes, he is a celebrity. He was in The Dark Knight Rises. You can see him in row Z, seat 153 in the back of the set of the stadium that blows up in The Dark Knight Rises. It's very famous for that. I might as well keep I can't see shit. Hi, Adam. Love your channel. What are your thoughts on Sarah Michelle Gellar announcing her return to a new Buffy series? I didn't watch Buffy. Well, I was never into CW stuff or WB, whatever it is. I didn't watch a single superhero show on WB or the CW. So I really don't know. I guess I'm happy for her and for the fans. But outside of that, really have nothing else to say. Is she reprising her role? Are they remaking and rebooting? Tiffany, would you ever be willing to do a review of Father of the Bride? No. I would not, because that would do nothing for the channel. And it's all about growth. It's all about growth here, baby. I did review Mother of the Bride, though. If you're interested in that review, you can find that on the channel, because that was a streaming film that came out last year with, oh God, what is her name? Oh, what the fuck's her name? Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields and Chad Michael Murray. You can find them in Mother of the Bride. Father of the Bride, if you want a review, it's a very nice little film with Steve Martin. Has a great father-daughter relationship. It's a fiasco of sorts, trying to get the wedding up and running at the house. The budget gets out of control. There's some fun side characters. I've never been a big fan of the mom in the movie. I forgot the actress's name. Diane Lane. Is that right? I don't know. It's late. It's almost midnight here. There's your review. A solid family flick. And I really like the rant that Steve Martin goes on when he's at the grocery store bitching about how the hot dog packs and the buns are different sizes. We can all get on board with that. It's relatable. Mick Luffy, before you go, Adam, or maybe it's Mike Luffy. Before you go, Adam, I might have missed your review on the last Aliens movie, Romulus. It was confusing and trash. What? I liked Alien Romulus, but I understand people not liking it all the same. I've made it very crystal clear on this channel that legacy sequels by design are already kind of bad. And so I'm going in with the knowledge that they're going to be kind of playing the greatest hits of things that came before. It worked for Top Gun Maverick. And I truly believe it's because I don't think Top Gun's very good, but Maverick made a great movie out of it. That's always been my sincere belief. Beetlejuice, Jurassic World, like all of these movies, Twisters, they're all kind of the same movie again. They have the same catchphrases, locations, items, characters that come back, Gladiator 2 went way more legacy sequel than I thought. So Alien Romulus also fits into that category. It's doing a lot of the nostalgia, the memba berries, bringing back classic characters, referencing things, wedging itself in between Alien and Aliens. But I thought it visually looked great. It was closer to what I want from an Alien movie. I like some of the new characters they had. The robot was awesome. I quote, run all the time with my family. I don't know. I dug it. I thought it was a great ride. I understand the hate though, but I can't hate everything here. That would just be a sad place to be. Okay, we are past time. We are overtime. Sean says, hey, Adam, glad you're still alive and I caught you. Just got back from a singing gig. Nice. Hope it went well, Sean. Appreciate that. Let me know if there's room for two. You're welcome. I like how he apologizes for not being here at the start. Sean, what a nice guy. How dare you? He's BAP 499. BAP stands for Matrix 4 Blows. Emilia Perez is original balls. Sorry, I'm passionate. I don't think that acronym lines up at all. Where does infinite wisdom come from? Comes from up here. Comes from up here. Once in a while, he comes up with something on his own. Hey, Adam, you should have your daughter on the channel, says Movies Versus Me. She's been on some of the random out-of-theater car-side reaction videos. But yeah, sometime we'll do a collab. We actually did a trailer reaction collab on How to Train Your Dragon or something. The trailer. I think I said that, but I'm saying it again. Speaking of Stiller, today is the 30th anniversary of Heavyweights. Oh, that was a fun little flick. He kind of reprised that role in Dodgeball. Very similar characters. He does it better in Dodgeball. Diane Weist? No, it's Diane Keaton. Did I say it wrong? Diane Keaton. Father of the Bride. Did I not say that name? I probably said something else because I'm tired as shit. Yeah, it's Diane Keaton. I've never been a huge fan of her. Do you believe in aliens? Now we're getting spicy. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm of the belief that that's definitely possible. There could be life on other planets, but I can't just blindly believe it. I gotta have some proof, some evidence, some hard hitting shit. But I would like to believe that there's life out there. I've watched all the X-Files. I know the truth is out there. So it's not really a belief. I wouldn't use the word belief. I would just say I think that there's a solid possibility. You said Diane Lane. Okay, there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Yes, I make mistakes all the time. I figured I said something wrong. It's amazing how it came to me after the fact, just randomly popped into my brain. But when I was thinking on the fly, absolute brainworms. I enjoyed this tonight. Thank you, Adam, and everyone in the chat. Thank you as well, sir. I am going to close it down as well. I think I hit all the super chats that came in. I appreciate them so much. Thank you guys for watching. This was freaking great. I'm tired. Tired Panda. Again, it's free. Patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Just go there, and there's free reviews that you can catch up on. I've started making monthly free reviews over there, hoping to encourage you to sign up at a tier level. There's a $1 tier, there's a $5, there's a $10, there's a $20, there's a $30. It goes up to $100, okay? But really, the meat of it is in the $5, the $10, and the $20. That's when you get those exclusive perks every month. But I would love to have the support any way I can, and thank you so much for watching. We have one more last second thing come in. BAP for $1.99. Do you ever yearn? Often I sit and yearn. Is that a quote from something? Do you ever yearn? Oh, it is Seinfeld. I knew it sounded familiar, but I didn't know what. Okay, fantastic. Giddy up. That's going to be it for the live stream. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay, Tropic Thunder review on the way. Honora, I have to go finish it now after saying I got to get to bed earlier. Now it's going to be another 1 a.m. situation. Short, of course, for situation. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. And I haven't closed yet because I don't actually see where the close button is at. This is awkward. The side panel's gone. What the fuck? Where the fuck's the side panel? Okay, I guess I'll just sit here for a little bit longer and awkwardly talk to you guys. I could close the tab, but I want to exit out of it properly. This is true. This has never happened. Oh, there it is. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let me see if I missed anything since I sat here like an idiot. Good night, Boomer. There it is. Awesome as always, Adam. Can't wait to see you. Yeah, we have leave. The monkey. Is it the monkey this week coming out? All right, I'm going. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Jesus criminy.